Folks, in this video, we're going to talk about a bunch of things, including, are the banks secretly buying silver instead of gold? Hi folks, it's Silver Dave at local Silver Mint in Ware, New Hampshire, where we have the best selection and the lowest prices on the most wonderful silver and gold items from all around the world. And we do these wicked, fun, informative videos that I hope you enjoy. And if you do like these videos, please feel free to tell somebody, either share it, click like it, ring the bell, subscribe, join. We really want you to join us and be part of this awesome adventure. It is a lot of fun. So with that being said, the question is, are the big banks secretly buying silver? So right now we see gold is in very short supply. And the banks are getting squeezed. So the thing is that when the banks are getting squeezed, they need to make certain moves in order to protect their holdings and their assets. And so gold has typically been something that the big banks would accumulate during times of stress, high inflation. Also, especially the central banks know that the tidal wave of inflation is coming. So they hold more gold. The problem is that... Whoa!
Just trying to get these bars over on display here.
What the heck is this?
Well, people have been bringing in their large bars and trading them for silver bits.
People are trading us these large bars for silver bits.
Yeah, did you know we do that?
I might have heard something about that. That's very interesting.
That's
so
right.
A guy can trade one of these big honks for silver bits. I mean, what are you going to do with a big honk like this anyway? Like, you're just going to have to sell it back to us during the dollar meltdown, and then the next day the dollars you got are going to be worth half as much. Now, there is a case for these. If you're going to buy a lot of ounces of silver, I could see getting some of it in 100-ounce bars. But then you trade it for land, something like that. But so it's going to be really hard to buy a dozen eggs with this. And that's the kind of stuff you might need. And so a big honk like this 100-ounce bar, this is 900 silver bits. I can barely hold it. My hand is actually getting tired. So you could trade 100 ounces of silver for 900 silver bits. Big honk. Ready? Ooh, 900 pieces of silver. How many things, how good are you going to do in the marketplace when you go to the bazaar and you walk down the row of people selling stuff and you got this one thing to trade versus you got this 900 things to trade? What's going to do better? What do you think?
Well, people are calling from all across the country, realizing how good of an idea it is to go from the least liquid, least tradable 100-ounce bars to the most barter and trade utility silver bits. So people are calling so they can actually ship their large bars to us, and we'll ship them back, silver bits, insured to us, and when we ship to them.
So all these silver bars came in and people traded it for silver bits.
Mostly viewers, I assume, who have large bars, know about silver bits, and they want to do a trade.
And this is equal to over 21,000 silver bits. Just this cart right here that people traded us in the past week, 21,000 silver bits. Plus people bought with cash, they bought with cards. There's not much gold left. Now, also, why are the banks getting squeezed? And the banks are getting squeezed largely because higher interest rates, defaults on commercial lending, the loan demand is down, and there's stricter rules about the loans. And so it's harder to even get a loan now, which makes perfect sense. I actually think that this next 5 or so years while they ramrod people into a total financial disaster and then get them to beg for the central bank digital currency. Well, I think that during that time, it's going to get harder to get loans. It's going to get harder to buy food and supplies. It's going to get harder for people to pay the property tax on their house that seems to be going up in value. And that's why physical silver and gold that can hold its value and be a hedge against inflation. Because the inflation is coming like a tidal wave. It is coming in hard and fast. And I keep on talking about this, and people, a lot of people are starting to notice. And I hope you are too. But if you're not noticing now, you will soon. Oh my goodness. So the question remains, are the banks buying silver? Are they secretly buying silver? And so we see a massive shortage of gold. Right now, the gold, major shortage of gold. And so the thing is that when gold, like the central banks, we think that the big central banks are buying the majority of the available gold. And that makes a lot of sense to me, both because they know the inflation's coming, and gold is better for inflationary situation than the paper currency that they print. They don't want the stuff they print. They know it's just paper tickets that are written in metaphorical blood of the children of the earth. Sorry, folks, it's a little dismal here, but stay with me. So the thing is that the big central banks, they're buying up almost all the gold. We can barely even get any from the wholesalers. And so that makes a lot of sense. But now the slightly lower banks, what are they doing? Well, if the gold's getting sucked up by the central banks, are they buying silver? And I think the answer is yes, because silver has most of the attributes that gold has, in the sense that it's largely inflation resistant. You can't really inflate the silver. Now they could find more silver in a mine or otherwise, which could increase the supply, but because silver is mostly mined as a byproduct of copper or gold mining, there's very few mines that are just silver mines. And so in turn, it's really hard for them to just increase the production of silver without increasing the production of those other metals. So that being said, silver has a lot of those attributes. It's liquid, it's inflation resistant, it's an actual tangible asset. And so I see the medium banks that if they can't get the gold, they're going to be buying the silver. So even though it seems like right now there's a lot of silver, there may be less silver availability in the future, just like we see with the gold right now. Now, silver has one more aspect that is even more so than gold. And that is that silver is much more widely used throughout industry than gold. So a lot of people think that gold is the best conductor of electricity. But actually, silver is the best conductor of electricity of any metal or element on the periodic table. Silver is the best. Gold is particularly useful for contacts that touch and then come apart and touch, because they work great to transmit even through the air, and because gold doesn't tarnish or oxidize, it is a great contact. But silver is a better conductor of electricity. And silver is used throughout industry to a much greater degree than gold. You may not know it, but here we go. More than 50% of all the things patented in the US Patent and Trademark Office involve silver somewhere in the design. Let me say that again. More than 50% of all things patented in the US Patent and Trademark Office have silver somewhere in the design, in the ingredients. They need silver. So silver is used throughout all kinds of technologies. And right now, the demand for silver appears to be increasing because, one, solar panels getting very popular, green energy getting very popular. People want solar panels. There's two main ingredients to solar panels: silver and sand. Sand is highly abundant. Silver is finite. Also, some other reasons why silver is increasing in demand. And some of those things are the AI data processing centers. AI data processing centers use a ton of silver. Medical devices. You got medical devices that use silver. Silver is antibacterial. It is an incredible conductor of electricity. It has some very amazing properties. Some of them are widely known. Some are even kept secret. I mentioned the AI data processing centers, 5G. 5G uses tons of silver. And so all those things are in high demand. So they're using lots of silver, more so than gold. And so they could suck up all the silver in a short amount of time. My projection is that because of the liquid-cooled data processing centers that are being built across the country, the executive sector of government just essentially announced a $500 billion spend to build these liquid-cooled data processing centers for AI and for other things, which I highly doubt is for freedom and liberty. I think it's actually potentially really bad. But they are going to need more silver for those facilities. And I actually think that the amount of silver it will take just to build those facilities exceeds the amount of available silver that's out there. So the price may have to go up in order to get people to sell the silver that they have hidden around in order to just fill the demand for that. So all those reasons, yes, I think the medium banks are buying up silver and accumulating it. They don't want Federal Reserve notes. They don't want cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency isn't anything. They largely created that. And so, by the way, the inventor of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto. Satoshi Nakamoto, translated in Japanese, means intelligence of the center. No coincidence here. And then lastly, the National Security Administration owns the patent for SHA-256, which is the part of the technology that approves or denies Bitcoin transactions. So when people are like, oh, Bitcoin, oh, the government hates it, they can't track it, trace it, or control it, even though they have a patent, even though the name of the inventor is intelligence of the center, nothing to see here, folks. Anyway, silver, gold, that is real. Silver and gold is the real deal. All this other stuff is just a sham. Paper for silver, gold. So anyway, I would be accumulating silver and gold, and I am. And I hope you are too. Thank you so much, folks, for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And remember, stack it up. Stack it up. Woo! All right.